Who are these people that I talk to? I talk to many experienced language teachers, not just Mandarin teachers, but French teachers, Spanish teachers, any heritage language teachers. I was asking them, what made your students keep their language? What did you do? What were you doing differently? And what can I do? I talked to so many parents of different generations, because when you see parents of my generation, even my parents' generation, what did they do with their kids, and what was the end result, was really, really fascinating to me. My dentist, just one short story, she has known me since I was a baby. So she came here, both her kids were born here. Her and her husband are fluent in Mandarin. Well, guess what? Both of her kids cannot speak Mandarin. I was shocked when I heard that, and I asked her why. And she said, I can't keep forcing them to go to Chinese school anymore. I just had enough of that. She was bribing them with McDonald's Happy Meals just to go to Chinese school every time. And she thought, I just can't keep that up. So she stopped. And now they don't speak any Mandarin. I also talked to experts, linguistics grads. I wish I had met Jim a little bit sooner, but it's okay, I'll talk to you after this. Speech pathologists, child psychologists, pediatricians, and of course, teachers. I'm a teacher myself, so I talk to fellow teachers, elementary teachers. So I basically talked to anyone that would listen to me. And you know what? There was a lot of similarity. And being an engineer, I like collecting data. I really like data. And I like finding patterns in this data. And I did find some patterns. So I'm going to share with you 7 patterns that I found. So what did I learn from all of these different conversations? I learned that it is really important, and Jim mentioned this too as well in his talk, is that you need to really capture that precious window of opportunity. And there's no exact time when it closes, but it definitely begins to shut down kind of roughly by the age of 5. And that really gave me a sense of urgency. I was like, oh my goodness, I really need to get started on this. And if you're not a tiger parent, and believe it, I'm really not a tiger parent, I wanted to do this because I'm not a tiger parent. And I know that my influence alone on her is not enough to encourage her to retain her Mandarin knowledge. And usually around 7 to 9 years old, they want to do what their friends are doing. And what their friends are doing is what's cool. So I want their friends to learn Mandarin. And that's one thing that I've been hoping to do. So, and also, language acquisition does not equal language retention. Just because she has acquired Mandarin now, and she can speak fluently, and she can read, it doesn't mean that she will at 18. Look at her dad. Sorry. This is going on film. I'll play this at our 20th wedding anniversary. And another key thing is that friends and community support is a huge determinant of whether that person retains that language. Like I said, they want to do what their friends are doing, but also they want to do it in their community. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why I did what I did, but we live in North Toronto, and so there are a lot of activities in North Toronto for children, but there was no Mandarin. And so if she cannot stay in her community with her friends, chances are she's going to want to do something else. And chances are I'm not going to be able to bribe her with McDonald's every single time. The modes of learning really need to be enjoyable and engaging for the children. So children are not meant to learn sitting in rows of desks and reciting the same thing over and over again, or writing the same thing over and over again 100 times, or getting dictations every week, and only to cramp on that dictation and to forget it by next week. And children need to see the point of why they're learning. And really children of all ages. You know, when I taught high school, I would teach Pythagorean theorem. And my student would be like, Miss, why are we learning this? And I need to find a reason. If I don't have a reason to teach them, why am I wasting their time? And that's something that you really need to be aware of too. I mean, as teachers and also teaching children, they deserve our respect and their time deserves our respect. And that's one of the reasons why in developing our curriculum for my Mandarin school, I need to make sure that a lot of the things that we're doing have to be tied to an authentic life situation. If they can't be used in real life, why are we teaching them that? And the last one is to ensure that children retain their language. They absolutely need to be driving the learning. Yes, we can encourage that interest in many ways, but they need to be the primary driver as much as possible. Because if they're not, that is not going to go on forever. Who learned piano in this room? Okay, type A room, yes. Do you still, okay, I should say, how many people still play the piano in this room? Think of the amount of money and time that your parents spent on piano, and on me too. But every time I think of piano, I think like, ugh. So it's not an enjoyable process. Well, when she thinks of Mandarin, I don't want her to think, ugh. So I want her to be the driving force for learning Mandarin. 你喜欢学中文吗?
不喜欢.
See what I mean? I lost control even at age 4. Thanks, Caitlin. So that's why I started Panda Mandarin. And I guess because I'm an OISE grad, like 90% of my teachers are from the OISE MEd program. And I have to thank whoever is the program secretary for that program, because you have given me such amazing teachers. I have one right over there, Rachel. And then they even came to, because they're in class, and they were like, I want to come and see you. It's just an amazing group of teachers, not just women. We do have a male teacher too. He's just not in that picture. And they really bring so much enthusiasm and passion of learning. And we do a lot of things, and we experiment together on how we could teach children to love learning Mandarin. And the really neat thing about that is, in my community, in her school, kids would say, Mommy, I want to learn Mandarin. And the parents would be like, why? Because, they don't have Mandarin in their heritage. And the kids would say, because it's so much fun. And I was like, yes, did it. And that's all I really want, is for them to really feel like it's fun to do this, and for them to really feel like this is something they want to continue. And I think just to kind of end this, those are our models: fun, engaging, and authentic. Those are the 3 words I always train my teachers to think about when they're putting together a lesson plan. I say, is it fun? Is it engaging? And what is it used for? And that's, I think, the most important thing for us as we're developing our school and trying to help our community to embrace multilingual education. One language at a time. We actually have French right now. We're offering French mainly because she's learning French right now, and this is delivered in our lesson plan and curriculum model. And somebody asked us if we could do it in Spanish. I was like, oh yeah, I want her to learn Spanish. So multilingual is something that's on people's minds, but I think it just needs to be more accessible. I wouldn't have done this if Ontario had legalized multilingual education. I was very happy working at TDSB. That was my dream job. That's what I said I would do when I won the lottery. Well, now it's changed a little bit, but I still want to work with children. And so just to kind of end off, I really hope with the great work that Stephen, Sandra, the OME group is doing with the help of our awesome esteemed panelists, that baby in that picture will not be our age when Ontario has legalized multilingual education.